I'm looking toward heaven. What a day that will be when I see Jesus coming after me. Oh, think of that time. It'll be so grand when we all get to stand in that promised land. Now before Jesus came, there would have been no way. But with mercy and grace, my sin did he pay. Oh, praise the dear Lord when I called on his name. And now I can go to that wonderful place. I'm looking toward heaven. What a day that will be when I see Jesus coming after me. Oh, think of that time. It'll be so grand when we all get to stand in that promised land. Now since I have Jesus, what a friend he has been. For he saved my soul, yes, he saved it from sin. And I'll walk through the gate when he welcomes us in, and forever be there because of what he did. I'm looking toward heaven. What a day that will be when I see Jesus coming after me. Oh, think of that time. It'll be so grand when we all get to stand in that promised land. Oh, think of that time. It'll be so grand when we all get to stand in that promised land. I'm gonna climb that mountain. In the blessed name of Jesus, I must go. I'm gonna climb that mountain. I've been so long in the valley, though I know I need the valley. So it's time to go to the mountain, I must go. This valley's filled with trials and testing, and it's hard to see the blessings through these tears. But at the top of the mountain, it's refreshing, and my view of the valley is so clear. I'm gonna climb that mountain. In the blessed name of Jesus, I must go. I'm gonna climb that mountain. I've been so long in the valley, though I know I need the valley. So it's time for the mountain, I must go.
I'd rather take the hard times with the good times. So sometimes to the valley I must go. But there's times I want to stand up high for heaven, and the mountain is the best place I know.
I'm gonna climb that mountain, and in the blessed name of Jesus, I must go. I'm gonna climb that mountain. I've been so long in the valley, though I know I need the valley. Gonna come up from the valley. I'm so tired of this valley, so it's time for the mountain, I must go.
I've been so long in the
valley. Oh, I know I need the valley.
But it's time for the mountain I must go.
Men strive for the wealth of this wide wicked world. They seek after honor and fame, so lavishly sporting their diamond and pearl. They put the dear Savior to shame. I'd rather live in heaven than to own all earth's silver and gold. I'd rather have Jesus and the diamonds of a palace to hold. I'd rather live in heaven than to live in a little shack by the road, than to others treasure and the title to a future of love.
Hey folks, we're glad to be here on this Thursday night to bring you some great Southern gospel music. We hope that everyone shares our program out there. You know, that's the way we get the gospel out and the things of God is share. And I hope everyone shares. And we got a lot of great things that's going to be happening in the near future. If the Lord tarries, we may not be doing much of that no more, because the Lord may just wind it up and come on back. But anyway, we're a faith broadcast, and we appreciate all the listeners and the listeners that helps us do this program every night. We're sponsoring a program and helping us out with your donations and everything. Anything you do for God helps our program. So we ask you to please share tonight. We got an exciting night lying in front of us tonight, and we'll tell you about that in a moment. But if you like being a part of a program like this and like keeping the gospel on the internet, help us with your donations and gifts to help us stay right here. And you can do that by sending them to Alan Presley, 611 Highway 68, Sweetwater, Tennessee, 37874. Here's our address again. Alan Presley, 611 Highway 68, Sweetwater, Tennessee, 37874. And folks, we still got the GoFund set up out there, and we're supposed to get somebody to make us a nudge, I guess. But you can still donate on that. Even though we reached our goal, you can still donate through that too. And you can go to that. Then Hank and Lorraine Hart, and you have to go to their page, Hank and Lorraine Hart's page, and they got a fundraiser out there too. And they say if you donate $10 or more, that they will give you a DVD that was recorded at the National Quartet Convention, and then you can see some great singing on that. Then they offer you a CD. Then they offer you a necklace and a earring set, you ladies. that are matching set. They offer you that. Then they offer you a ring, and you can pick the choice you want, a man's or a lady's ring. If you go that route, you can donate there. But we appreciate all the gifts. We appreciate the donations. That's the reason we're able to come on here and play gospel music. And folks, there are a lot of work in this stuff, a lot of work. And we're glad to be here. And we're looking forward tonight to having Stephanie Leavins on our program. I hope I get that right. And she'll wring my neck good. But anyway, we're going to have her on here about 8:30. That'd be 8:30 Eastern Time, 7:30 Central Time. And we're looking forward to having her on. I know she's going to have some exciting news. Then we're going to hear quite a bit of her singing tonight. And it's going to be a great night. So let's make this young girl happy by hitting that share button and getting a crowd on here and letting them hear this young girl's testimony. You know, she's singing and doing the work of God. She's really singing and doing the work of God. And she was heavily booked all year to this virus thing happen. And God is blessing her life. And we'll be hearing from her coming up shortly. Here's Thomas Lilly coming on right now to sing. Take a listen.
proclaim, my God, how great thou art.
Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art.
Here's David and Brenda Bell.
Life is like a mountain railroad with an engineer that's brave. We must make the run successful from the cradle to the grave. Watch the curves, the fields, the tunnels. Never falter, never fail. Keep your hand upon the throttle and your eye upon the rail. Blessed Savior, thou will guide us till we reach that blissful shore where the angels wait to join us in thy praise forevermore. You will roll up great trial, you will cross the bridge of strife. See that Christ is your conductor on this lightning train of life, always mindful of obstruction, but do your duty, never fail. Keep your hand upon the throttle and your eyes upon the rail. Blessed Savior, thou will guide us till we reach that blissful shore where the angels wait to join us in thy praise forevermore.
As you roll across the trestle, sparing Jordan's swelling tide, you behold the Union Depot into which your train will glide. Then you'll meet the superintendent, God the Father, God the Son, with a heart joyous flooded, weary pilgrim, welcome home. Blessed Savior, thou wilt guide us till we reach that blissful shore where the angels wait to join us forevermore in thy praise forevermore.
Hey, we have the gospel hearts coming on. Futurist Long Dog Getter.
Came a sound from heaven like a mighty rushing wind. It filled their hearts with singing and gave them peace within. soul from sin. Come to these waters. There is a vast supply. There is a river that never shall run dry. These waters, there is a vast supply. There is a river that never shall run
Here's Stephanie Leavins. Leavins. Stephanie Leavins.
Will I be a crippled girl ever? Will my wings refuse to sail through the air? Lord, I know the way I am is for a reason. But will I be a crippled girl or
A little girl sat all alone in a wheelchair. She was watching all the other kids run and play. And on her face I saw a look far and distant. With trembling voice I heard the little girl say,
Will I be a crippled girl in heaven? Will my wings refuse to sail through the air? Lord, I know the way I am is for a reason. But will I be a crippled girl up there? They say you must be born again to enter heaven. Walk the straight and narrow way on this earth. I don't seem to understand all the meanings. I've never walked since the day of my birth.
her eyes were closed, her little face turned toward heaven. Will my life there be the same? I heard her say. Then through tears of joy her face lit up. She had found the answer. Then she turned to me and I heard her say,
I will be a crippled girl in heaven. And dreams will sail through the air. I can run and play with all the other children. This old world is in its sorrow. A humble babe in a manger in Bethlehem. But this time he is coming in all his power. Great kings of earth will bow and worship his great name. Coming soon, Jesus in all his glory, not just a Savior, but a reigning King. Coming soon, and the whole world will be witness. Oh, be ready, for he is coming soon. When he comes, he'll cast old Satan out forever. Then the saints will rise to meet him on that bright shore, there to live and reign with him through worlds eternal. All our pain and sorrow we will know no more. Coming soon, Jesus in all his glory, not just a Savior, but a reigning King. Coming soon, and the whole world will be witness. Oh, be ready, for he is coming soon. Coming soon, Jesus in all his glory, not just a Savior, but a reigning King. Coming soon, and the whole world will be witness. Oh, be ready, for he is coming soon. Oh, be ready, for he is coming soon.
Here is Michael Cole coming on.
Some people say that I'm a fool to believe what I believe. They say, how can you believe in someone you can't touch or see? That I'm just living in a world of fantasy. They look at me like I'm crazy when I tell them all that Jesus did for me. Oh, they laugh at me, they mock me, some even call me Jesus freak. Then all I can say as I walk away is you'll see. When he comes in a cloud of glory, you'll see that it was more than just a story. When the King of Kings comes back again to take
have our guest on the line, Stephanie Leavins, and we welcome her to our program, and we're going to put her on the air right now. Is this Stephanie?
Hi.
Hey, Brother Howard, you got it right. Stephanie Leavins.
Hey, we're glad to have you on.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be back and had a wonderful time with you last night. I understand, honey. You got closer than anybody else I've ever known. Most people say Leavins and they just mess it all up. So you did fantastic. So I just appreciate it. Thank you for this opportunity to share my ministry with everybody.
Well, we're going to have a good time, but we're going to do a little different tonight. We want you to lead us in prayer and have a prayer before we get started. Would you do that?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead. You get ready.
Dear Lord Jesus, thank you so much for all the miracles and all the blessings that you've given each and every one of us in our life. Words cannot express, Lord, what you mean to me. Now, 4 years old, I didn't say much on the microphone. It was pretty much, plain Jane. I get up there and just not even say really much of anything. I would just sing the song. I even had my own live band when I was 4 years old. Live band would play, with me, and of course I more or less sang at my home church that I was going to at that time. And so I went up there and I did, of course, the Cripple Girl's Prayer. And I was 4 years old, and I knew that God had something very special for me in my life. I didn't know what it was, had no clue, but I love singing in front of people, and I am a people person. Honey, if you look up that word extrovert in the dictionary, my picture is right there beside it, because I love people so much. So I just knew that God had a plan for my life, and as the years went on, God just kept opening the doors for me.
Well, all this stuff come up, you're pretty heavily booked too, right?
Yes, sir. Other than when the coronavirus, happened, I'm booked all the way through this year and part of next year, thank the Lord. But this COVID-19, though, I had to do some, rescheduling and moving appointments around and dates around because, naturally the the churches right now, most of them are not having services, so that thank the Lord, all of them's rescheduled me to later times. But other than the situation about the COVID-19, God has just opened up so many doors, and I don't have a manager. And so I get most of my bookings from word of mouth, like this, like, you know, people listening to my ministry and you playing my CDs, which I love you for. Thank you so much. And so that gives me the best advertising. The best advertising, in my opinion, is word of mouth. And so God has just placed things on their heart to call me and to ask me to come and sing at their church. And so that you can't have a better manager than Jesus Christ. So that's how I get my bookings, is mainly from word of mouth.
Hey, now tell us where Mom and Dad comes in on this at.
Are you talking about during my concert? Is that what you mean?
I mean, you know, did they take you to the concerts?
Oh, absolutely, yes, sir. Because I've been in a wheelchair since birth. I've had muscular dystrophy since birth, so my mom and dad, they go with me. Now I sing on stage by myself unless my mom and I do a duet together. But my mom runs the sound system, and my dad sets up the equipment, all the bookings. So it's definitely a family ministry, and mom and dad's always been the kind of angels and parents that's always pushed me out front. They never wanted to push me to make me minister. They wanted me to want to do it, but they would encourage me every part of my life. And they've always wanted me to be out front as far as to share my life, and more importantly, to let Jesus shine through my life. But without mom and dad, I tell everybody they're my arms and my legs, and most of all, they're my heart. And without them and the Lord, I couldn't make it. So without them, I wouldn't have a ministry besides Jesus.
Is your dad, is he listening to the program?
Yes, ma'am. He's listening in the living room.
Is he having problems too? Because we're having problems tonight, and I don't know what's causing it.
You mean technical difficulties, or?
Yeah, it's 2 or 3 times our broadcast has been interrupted, and people out there is saying they don't have no sound and they're having problems. But I think it's on our end.
Yeah, I hear it in the living room, and they haven't said nothing about anybody having any technical difficulties. So I don't know how it sounds to anyone else, but where we are, it sounds great.
Well, that's great. And it must be some problems somewhere. But anyway, right now...
Don't you love technology?
Well, right now we're not showing no problem. But
good.
Yeah. And you go a lot of places too every year, don't you?
I'm sorry, honey. I do what now?
You go a lot of places every year to sing, right?
Yes, sir, I do. Okay, my mom just said they were having some trouble, but it's getting better.
Well, that's good.
Okay, so yes, sir, I travel different places every year. I mean, all through the year. I travel at different denominations, different churches, just wherever God opens the door, we go. And I have a prison ministry that I go to the prisons and the jails, and I love to minister to inmates because, in my opinion, they need to hear the gospel more than anybody. And we're all family in Jesus. That's something I always try to in my ministry, is to let people know that we're all family in the Lord, and we all need to love one another and spread the gospel of Jesus Christ, and to try to let people know that through Christ you can make it and anything is possible.
It may be hard for you to talk about this. I don't know. But tell these people about your wheelchair experience and reason you in the wheelchair.
Yes, sir. I was born everything's okay. My mom said, well, she didn't know I was a girl because I didn't have the technology back then. But she said, my baby's not moving. Because, see, I have a brother. He's 5 years older than me, and his name is Steven. And Steven is healthy. There's nothing wrong with him disability-wise. So whenever my mom was pregnant with my brother, he kicked all the time, according to my mom. So when she was pregnant with me, I didn't even move. And she said one day she felt a little flutter in her stomach. But other than that, I didn't move at all. My mom said I had to be stillborn. And so anyway, when my mom gave birth to me, April 3rd, 1977, my mom said she got to hold me for just a short period of time. And then I turned blue. And I was immediately taken to intensive care. And I had a rough, according to my parents, I had a rough 4 months. And the doctors, this is what I share in my testimony as well, the doctors, through that 4 months that I was in neonatal intensive care unit, the doctors told my parents that I was not going to live. And if I did live, I would have no meaningful purpose in life whatsoever. I'd never amount to anything. That the best thing for my parents would be to do that if I lived, that my parents need to put me in a crippled children's home and forget about me and go on with their life. Because if I lived, I would never amount to anything. But the doctor was so confident that I was going to die that he had already made plans for my autopsy to take place. He was that confident that I was not going to make it. And at the end of the 4 months, my mom and dad said, look, we're bringing our daughter home because ever how much time that God blesses us with our daughter, we want her to be surrounded by her family who loves her. So my mom and dad brought me home. Of course, my brother was wanting me to come home because the doctor told my parents, even when I was also, as far as them wanting to put me in a crippled children's home, the doctors wanted my parents to as well. And they said to that my brother would grow up to resent me and hate me if I lived because my condition was so severe and still is severe that I would require so much care that his life would not change for the better, but for the worst. And my brother was 5 years old at that time, and he said to my mom and dad, let's bring my sister home because I love her and I want her home with me. So doctors unhooked all the machines, got me ready. My parents brought me home that night. And the doctor was so confident that I was not going to make it through the night. The doctor called the next morning. My mom answered the phone, and the doctor said, what time did Stephanie pass away last night? My mom said, well, she didn't. She is still with us. And Brother Allen and Sister Linda, that has been 43 years ago. And I want to say this to add that the doctor that said I wasn't going to live, the one that said I would have no meaningful purpose in life whatsoever, the one who wanted my parents to put me in a crippled children's home and told my parents I'd never amount to anything and made plans for the autopsy, drew a diagram all over my body. During the time of the autopsy, he pulled out a pen and he started drawing a diagram on my body with that pen, marking the spots that the doctors wanted to do. And he looked at my parents and he said, when we do this autopsy, and this was the doctor's words, he said, when we do this autopsy, we're going to cut her here. He'd make another line. We're going to cut her there. We're going to send this part off for research and that part off for research, and I was still alive. But that doctor that was so negative about my future, he is still my doctor and my neurologist to this very single day. And he has given his life to the Lord since then, and he knows without a shadow of a doubt that it is because of the Lord Jesus Christ and my wonderful parents, my angels, and all the prayers that went up for me, and my wonderful brother that I love so much. All of that together, and number one, Jesus.
Amen. Well, that's great. Hey, all the years since you've been singing, I'm going to ask you. You might not can answer this. A lot of people can't answer it, but one or two has. I ask about everybody this. Are there any one time in your life that you've been singing that something has really stood out to you above everything else?
In a good way?
Yeah, in a concert, in a singing, you know.
Well, I remember, golly, I never had anybody. That's a good question because I've had a lot of fantastic moments in my life with my ministry that I'll never forget. I guess there was one. I was singing in Clanton, Alabama, and I believe that's what it's called, Clanton, Alabama. And I was doing a concert at a beautiful church over there, and I was sharing my life with everybody. And there was tons of teenagers that were in the church. Well, I always love to give an altar call at the end of my concert. Sometimes I'll let the pastor do it. Sometimes the pastor will ask me to sing a song while he does it. But that night, the pastor wanted me to lead it as far as prayer, like what you asked me to do. And he stood in front of the stage, and every youth in that service that night come to the altar and gave their life to the Lord and got saved. And while we're talking about that, there is one more thought that come in my mind. There's a song that I do. I don't think I sent it to you, but I will send it to you. It's called The Third Voice. And it's talking about abortion. And it's talking about a woman who gets pregnant and she's considering having an abortion. Well, during the song is called The Third Voice, and what it is during this song, it's like the baby is talking to the mother and saying to the mother, if you only knew me, I know you would love me, trying to tell the mother not to have an abortion. Well, I've done that song many times in my concert. Most people just say, oh, I love the song, it's so beautiful, and what a great meaning, but that's really about all they would say. And one day I was shopping in Pensacola, and this lady walked up to me, beautiful lady, and she had a gorgeous daughter. She walked up to me and she said, Stephanie, I want you to know how a song that you did changed my life. And she began to describe it. She said, you would come to my church and you started singing a song about abortion called The Third Voice. She said, I was pregnant at that time, she said. And she said the next day I had been scheduled to go to the abortion clinic to have an abortion. She said, after hearing that song, God touched me in such a way that I thought there is no way in this world I'm going to have an abortion. And the result of that was her daughter standing right there beside her. And she said, because of that song, it saved my daughter's life. So, Brother Allen, some stories and testimonies like that are priceless. There's it's amazing to me. And again, I give it all to the Lord. I give it all to Jesus because he's the ultimate one that lays these things in people's lives, like touching that woman and giving her that spirit to say, your daughter has, or actually she knew she was having a little girl, and she said, the Lord said to her, your daughter has a purpose in this life. So things like that are priceless to me, and those are one of the many reasons why I love to minister.
Amen. Hey, I tell you what, let's do something. Hey, let's play a few of your songs, and we'll talk in between them. Well, I'm gonna keep you on here the whole program. Is that all right?
I would love it, honey. I can talk the ears off. I could talk the horns off of Billy Goat, so I could talk a lot.
Hey, you talk. What'd you say about Billy Goat?
I said I could talk the horns off of Billy Goat.
Oh, okay.
Everybody, it's okay.
Hey,
In other words, I talk a lot.
Which song you want us to play first?
Oh, Lord. Good grief. I'll let you pick. Did you get the Go Red Tie on That Mountain?
Okay, pick one, Linda.
I don't know what song she said.
But she did. She said pick any one we want. Pick one, Linda.
Wait a minute. I'll pick this one.
Okay, what's the name of it? It says, look what I traded for a mansion. What about this song?
I love that one. That would be, I want to dedicate it to anybody out there who's ever lost a loved one.
Okay, you ready to play it?
I'm ready, honey.
Okay, now hang on, don't you hang up.
Oh, God, I promise.
Okay, you stay right there. Here we go.
Yes, sir.
I once heard a story of a sainted old mother who had lived out her life here on earth. As she laid on her deathbed, her friends gathered round her, and these were the last words she said.
people who records your music for you.
Yes, sir. It is the Dixie Echoes.
And
Randy Shellnut, he is a mess.
he's the best. Do you know him pretty good?
Oh, yes, sir. I met Randy. It was kind of funny. You know, I recorded my first cassette, so that should tell you how long I've been recording. I recorded my first cassette when I was 12, and I met Randy at a pretty young age, and he was so funny because I have to be honest, my mom and dad grew up listening to, especially my dad has so many pastors on his side of the family, and my mom and my grandma used to go to the all-night sings, and so mom loved Southern gospel music, and so did my dad. They both had listened to it all their life, and so whenever I met Randy, I had never heard of Randy Shellnut. And so a gentleman that I know, which is also part of my family, he said, there's a studio in Pensacola that I want to tell you about, and it's Echo Sound Studios. And he said, the guy's name is Randy Shellnut. And I said, Randy who? And he said, Randy Shellnut. And I said, okay. And I met Randy. And what I loved about Randy, I love him for so many reasons, but what I love Randy is I've never let my disability stop me from working hard. I believe that the Lord Jesus Christ deserves the very best when it comes to the ministry, singing, preaching, whatever God has laid on your heart to do in your ministry, in your life. And I told Randy, I said, now Randy, I want you to know that I know I have muscular dystrophy and I've been in a wheelchair since birth. I said, but I want you to understand that I want you to work me hard, and I want you to make sure that every song is anointed and that it is as great as it can be through the Lord. And I joke with him and say, I never should have told him to work me that hard because he does. And but I'm proud. I'm proud of every CD that I've ever done. I don't deserve it. I don't deserve the blessings that God has given me, but I'm very proud, and Randy does a great job.
Do they live in Pensacola there?
Yes, sir, they do. They live in Pensacola, have a studio called Echo Sound Studios, and they have great technology there, and just I've never been ashamed of any project that Randy's done with me. I love them all.
Well, you could pass the word to him to send me some music of the Dixie Echoes.
Sure will. I will definitely do that because he knows your show. I guess he has seen it before, and I told him about, we were talking about me being on the radio, and so I told him that you would want him some CDs, so he said he would send them either to me or I gave him your address, so I think you'll do. If he don't, you let me know and I'll call him.
Okay. Hey, you was acquainted with the Florida boys too, wasn't you?
Les Beasley, we were just talking about that today. When I met Les Beasley, and I know I shared this story last night, the Cripple Girl's Prayer, the song that you played a while ago, that was the first one I ever did. And when I was 4, and when I met Les Beasley was very quiet. He didn't say a whole lot. And I had told him that my dad had heard this song whenever, actually how it was Jesus in my life.
Amen.
I have unbelievable joy. And even my wheelchair, you know, some people look at their wheelchair as a problem or a trial. I love my chair. I wish you could see it. You've probably seen it in pictures, but I call it my Mary Kay Cadillac. It's very bright pink, and it has glitter stuff all over it, sparkly sequins, and it's very girly girl. And but I love my chair because it gives me an independence that without it I do not have. So I thank God for my chair every day.
Well, that's great. Hey, we're going to play another song. And Linda, what's the name of this song?
I can only imagine.
I Can Only Imagine.
I love that song. I made it real southern.
And then what now?
I made it real southern style.
Okay, you want to listen?
Country style.
You want to listen to it, and I give you a break, and we'll come right back to you.
Yes, sir, that's fine.
Okay, here we go.
I can only imagine what it will be like when I walk by your side. I can only imagine what my eyes will see when your face is before me. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance for you, Jesus? Or in all you be still? Will I stand in your presence? To my knees will I fall? Will I sing hallelujah? Will I be able to speak at all? I can only imagine. I can only imagine. I can only imagine when that day comes and I find myself standing in the sun. I can only imagine when all I will do is forever worship you. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance for you, Jesus? Or in all you be still? Will I stand in your presence? To my knees will I fall? Will I sing hallelujah? Will I be able to speak at all? I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance for you, Jesus? Or in all of you be still? Will I stand in your presence? To my knees will I fall? Will I sing hallelujah? Will I be able to speak at all? I can only imagine. Yeah, I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Yeah, I can only imagine. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. I can only imagine when all I will do is forever can only imagine.
Sister Stephanie, how many
Yes, sir.
how many CDs you got out now?
Let's see, I've got, is it 11 CDs, Mom? 10 CDs, and I've got 14 projects all together. If you want to count the cassette, and I have a video that's called From the Heart. It's like a intimate portrait, a documentary about my life. And so I have the video and cassettes, but all together, honey, I have 14 projects, even a Christmas CD.
Well, that's great. Hey, tell these people how they can order them.
Well, I have a website, which I'm so proud of. It's StephanieLeavins.com, and I'll put it under on the comments on the video, if that's okay with you.
That's all right.
I'll put the website, and there is a donate button in the upper right-hand corner of the website, because when I travel and sing, I don't have a set fee. I just go on a love offering basis, because Brother Allen, I never want a church to tell me we cannot afford you. I don't want that. I want to have God open that door and and for me to be able to go to wherever the Lord wants me to. So when I go to different churches, I don't care how big it is, how small it is, as long as they let me share my ministry, that's all that matters. And I go on a love offering basis. So my website, if you go to CDs, you can listen to all the CDs. It has like 5 samples, so you know basically what the CD the kind of gospel that it is. Some is praise and worship, some is Southern gospel, some's a little bit of bluegrass, and of course I have a Christmas CD and an old gospel hymn. But if people want to just make a donation to my ministry, they can go in the upper right-hand corner and click on donate, and it'll just take you right through it, and just whatever you feel led to do.
Okay. Now, tell them how much them CDs cost them.
Well, the CD on the website is $15. Now, when I sell them in my concerts, I sell one for $12, and then 10. If you buy more than one, it's $10. And they're all the prices are listed on the website. So we have to add a couple of dollars extra for the CDs and the video to pay for shipping. So, but I want to share a couple of stories with you, Brother Allen, and then I'm going to get my angel mama to come in here and talk with y'all, because I know you wanted her to talk on here too. But, God did a miracle in my life in 2008. I've never been able to eat with my mouth. I had always been fed by a stomach tube in my side since birth. But God in 2008 did a miracle in my life. I never was able to eat with my mouth at all. Never knew what food was like, because I couldn't swallow because of muscular dystrophy. I didn't have enough muscles in my throat to swallow any food without turning blue or aspirating every single time. But like I said, God did a miracle in 2008, and He touched my throat in such a way that I was able to get my stomach tube removed from me permanently. And I had not had that tube since 2008, and I'd had it since birth. And it's been 11 years. That stomach tube is still gone. So I want to eat everything now, because I never knew what food tasted like. Even when I had my birthday parties, I never could eat birthday cake. I would get a cake so that, everybody could celebrate my birthday, but I never knew what cake tasted like. But I was able to eat my birthday cake for the very first time in my life. And God's done a miracle. But I want to say this. Even though I thank the Lord that He touched my throat, that stomach tube saved my life for 31 and a half years. I never take it for granted. Without that tube, I wouldn't have made it in that time. And like we were talking about earlier, the Lord Jesus Christ that we serve, He's never too late and never too early. He is always on time in any situation.
Boy, that's great. Stephanie, I hope you don't think I'm getting personal.
No, you're fine.
Okay. How were you educated? I know you got an education. I can tell it.
Oh, I love you. Thank you so much. Well, it's funny that you mentioned that, and I appreciate it. And, honey, you can ask me anything. I'm an open book. You can ask me any question you want to. But Brother Allen, my dream was, since kindergarten, I did not want to be in a handicapped class. I wanted to be in a regular class with healthy kids that could walk and do the things that most kids that are healthy can do, or all kids that are healthy can do. And I never looked at myself as disabled. I still don't. I never looked at myself as handicapped. I wanted to be just like all kids, because in my eyes, I was. And now I'm just like anybody else. So I wanted to be in a regular class. So the only way I could be in a regular class was to have someone there take care of me physically while I did my work mentally. What better person than your mama? So I was in kindergarten, and I said, Mom, I don't want to be in a handicapped class. I said, I want to be in a regular class with all healthy kids. I said, but Mom, I cannot go alone. I said, will you go to school with me and take care of me so that I can fulfill that dream of being in a regular class? Brother Allen, from kindergarten all the way up to my senior year in high school, every day, all day, 5 days a week, morning until afternoon, when I was sitting in the regular classroom, every time I would look to my right, there would be my angel mom sitting right there beside me, taking care of me like I asked her to do. When I graduated from Milton High School in Milton, Florida, in the year of 1995, not only was I the first person with a disability to ever be in a regular classroom full-time from K to 12, but I graduated with a 4.0 GPA. So I thank God.
That's a great praise right there.
Absolutely.
Amen. Well, when you gonna bring Mom in? We got another song to play too, but when you gonna?
Okay. You want to do it after? You want to do it after this song?
Yeah. What's the name of this song, Linda?
New Again.
New Again. This is a duet that I did with a brother in Christ of mine called Dan Kirkland, and has a beautiful voice. So I hope everybody likes it.
Okay, you get Mom ready.
Okay.
Okay. All
right.
Here we go.
Mother, do not cry for me. All of this is exactly how it's supposed to be.
I'm right here. Can you hear my voice? My life, my love, my Lord, my baby boy.
As they nail me to this tree, just know my Father waits for me.
God, how can this be your will, to have your son and my son killed?
Whatever happens, whatever you see, whatever your eyes tell you has become of me, this is it's not the end. I am making all things new again.
I remember when you were born in that manger where I first held you
Christmas tree. Just know my Father waits for me.
God, how can this be your will, to have your son and my son killed?
Whatever happens, whatever you see,
don't wanna see
whatever your eyes tell you has become of me, this is not,
tell me it's
it's
not.
not the end. I am making all things new again. Whatever happens, whatever you see, whatever your eyes tell you has become of me, this is not, it's not the end. I am making all things new again.
All right, Stephanie, are you there?
I'm here, honey. You need to put Mom on the phone?
Yeah, I want you to put Angel Mom on the phone.
My angel ball. Here you go. Okay, that's it. Hello, Brother Allen.
Hey, is this Angel Mom?
I don't know about the angel part, but it's her mom.
Hey, what do you think about this young lady?
Brother Allen, I tell you, she is the biggest blessing. I wish everyone could wake up having somebody like Stephanie in their life, because I'm telling you right now, that child, she has more faith and more love in her little tiny finger than most people have in their whole bodies.
Hey, I'd have to say I agree with you. From what time I've known her, she got a lot of faith, a lot of courage too.
It brings us a lot of joy, I tell you right now. But not only us, everybody that comes in contact with Stephanie. She's one that, sometimes you hear people say they love you, and you wonder, really, do they really love you? When Stephanie tells you she loves you, honey, she means it.
I believe it. Hey, and she says you do some singing too.
Yes, sir. I used to sing years and years ago in a group before my son Stephen and Stephanie was born. But I hadn't done that in a long time. But I do a duet with Stephanie, especially around Christmas time. I will do a duet with her. Some duets and stuff. At Christmas.
Is it recorded?
No, sir. No, I haven't been brave enough to let Randy record me. That's for sure.
I got something funny on my mind. Can I tell it?
Yes, sir.
I can?
Well, I guess.
Well, why don't you and Stephanie do a little opera sing and sing that together?
Acapella.
Acapella.
Oh, my Lord.
Why not? Ain't nobody here but us.
Well, I know that, but Stephanie, I got the headset on. I don't have but one headset. Hold on a minute. I don't even know how to
Okay.
record that. Hey, Steph? Come here, babe. Hold on a minute. I'm trying to get her back in here.
What you do? Disappear?
And she went in there and talked to her dad. She just left me with this microphone.
Oh.
He knows better than to do that. He wants us to do something a cappella, Stephanie. Oh, thank you. I can't harmonize, so that's what she's talking about. We're not gonna harmonize, Mama. Okay. Okay, what you want to sing? Okay, how's that?
that's a lot better than I could do.
I'm not good at harmony. I don't do that.
Well, I can't even carry a tune in the bucket.
Sir, I'm sorry, what?
I can't even carry a tune in the bucket.
He can't even
No,
sing in the shower.
Because I can't carry one either. Stephanie is the singer in this family.
Well, like Linda said, I can't even sing in the shower.
Sister Linda, that ain't very nice.
Well, he knows it's the truth.
Well, I don't know. I wish I could sing like Stephanie. Oh, I wish I could sing like her. I guess I better just stick with running her sound, though.
Well, y'all did real good.
Thank you. We had to share one little tiny mic here. It probably sounded weird.
Well, does
Because
does Dad
I know, we can talk, and people think, they'll call here at the house, and they'll say, can I thinking that I'm Stephanie, and they'll say, hey, Stephanie, and I'm like, no, this is your mom. No, this is Stephanie. I said, no, it's your mother.
Well, does Dad sing in it?
I think he just dropped dead and everything.
What did you say? Well, where's Dad at?
Huh?
Where's Dad at?
He's in yonder listening to you, listening to us, or listening to you.
Is he's not gonna come out of the woodshed back there? He's not gonna come out?
Darling. Sir?
He's not gonna come out?
Well, I don't have him shut up, Brother Allen, so he can come in here. Go get your daddy. See if he'll come. He probably won't come. My dad's kind of bad. Her dad's kind of bashful.
He's kind of bashful.
You know, I almost forget this thing's live. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, anyway.
I
Let
bet
me
Mom.
tell you a little bit. She's going to go see if she can get her dad up off the floor because he probably passed out thinking he's going to have to get on this radio. Let me tell you a little bit about when Stephanie was born. Brother Allen, when she was born, I told you, you heard her a while ago talk about things that happened to her. Well, she was in that intensive care nursery for 4 months. And every day, we go see her every day. And I prayed, and I was on the way to the hospital every day like I always was. And I was crying and praying, going down the highway. And the Lord spoke to me. And I said, Lord, just please let her live. I don't care. I'll be her arms. I'll be her legs. And she couldn't eat. I said, I'll feed her with a syringe the rest of her life. I just want her to live. Please let her live. And the Lord spoke to my heart, and he said, if you would give me Stephanie and stop taking her back, I'm going to use her. And I thought, am I doing that? I'm thinking, have I been all this time just saying, God, I want my will done, not your will done? And he said, I'm going to use her. And so I thought, how in the world are you going to use this child? She can't move her arms, she can't walk, she can't do anything as far as, physically. And I thought, from that moment on, I said, Lord, she's yours. I said, if you take her home, I know that she's going to be with you and she'll be fine. But if you decide to leave her here, you're going to use her. And I did not in my wildest dream, Brother Allen, know how God was going to use this child. But she started singing at the age of 3 years old. I remember her sitting in front of the TV listening to Dolly Parton when Dolly Parton had that show on, Love is Like a Butterfly. And she would sit there and harmonize at 3 years old with Dolly Parton. And I'm thinking, this is how God's going to use this child. He's going to give her a voice.
Well, you know what? You know what? We know, me and Linda knows how Dolly Parton got started.
How's that?
Linda, you want to share some of that?
Well, she was raised up in around Sevierville, somewhere up in there, and I was raised in Knoxville.
Okay.
And I don't know if you've ever heard of Cass Walker Farming Home Hour, but they come on every morning. I think it was Monday through Friday. And Dolly Parton would sing on his program. And that's how we knew about her.
And that's how she got started. They called his name was Kaz Walker. He owned a lot of supermarkets, and he would have Dolly on her. That's how she got her start. And he would have her on his TV program every morning, and they called it the Farm and Home Hour. And that's how Dolly Parton got her start.
I know Stephanie's always been a big fan of Dolly Parton. She used to tell people, you know how I learned how to sing? I listened to Dolly Parton, and that's how I learned how to sing. But I know one thing, as far as what was I gonna say? It was a dead spot. I know one thing though, God has certainly blessed this child with a voice. He has blessed her with such a beautiful voice. But Stephanie is the #1 Dolly Parton fan.
I think when Dolly Parton got started on Kaz Walker, she was only 12 years old.
But you know when I first remember Dolly is when she was on the Porter Wagner show. And that's way before I got married.
Well, I thought she'd been married 100 years.
Me? Her? No, I said before I got married. No. No, before I got married. Me and Earl got married. That's when I was home, when I was a kid. I used to listen to Dolly on the Porter Wagner show. My husband and I, we've been married a little over 50 years.
Oh, okay. Hey, you probably feel like take me out to the woodshed.
No, sir, that's okay. I don't mind. I hope, if the Lord tarries, I hope I get to be with my husband 100 years.
Hey, I like to cut up. I'm a person that like to have fun.
Well, I tell you, you got the right person here, because me and Stephanie, we are hoots, and we have the most fun together.
Yeah, I can tell that.
She cracks me up. She'll say things sometimes, and it...
Well,
we as country is snuff, I'm telling you, you know.
I like that. Country is snuff, Linda.
Well, you know, people always think that if you live in Florida, you don't think about being real southern. But let me tell you, we live up in the Panhandle. You know, we only an hour from Mobile, Alabama, and this is the way people in Florida really talk. I mean, you know, this is home. We're homegrown.
Hey, I know I've been in the Panhandle several times. Hey, we're going to play another song, give you a break, and we'll come right back to you. What about this song, Linda? What's this next song got here?
For those tears I died.
Oh, I love that song. That's one of my favorite old hymns. Okay, Brother Allen, but listen, I'm going to get off the mic and give it back to Steph, okay?
Okay, put Stephanie back on.
All right, God bless y'all. We
God
love
bless you.
Bye.
Hey, thank you. We love you. If Dad wants to say something, you put him out there.
Oh, I might have to put some smelling salts under his nose.
Okay, here we go. We'll
All
listen.
right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You ready?
Yeah.
You said you'd come and share all my sorrows. You said you'd be there for all my tomorrows. I came so close
Hey,
I love you. You make me smile and laugh so much.
well, what you think you done to us too?
All the listeners probably think we're crazy. I told Mom was like, oh, Lord, I don't know what to say. And my dad said he loves you so much. But when I come in the living room, he was in there going, swinging his arms, going, no, I don't want to get on the radio.
Hey, guess what, Stephanie?
What?
Yeah, we are crazy. They call me Crazy Lumber too, but there's one out there. It's called Crazy Lumber 1. This been going on for months.
And that's the guy that went fishing with you, right?
Yeah, this guy went fishing with me, and he and he makes Jerry Clowers look like an amateur.
Well, I gotta tell you this. This is what my dad says. Dad says it's better to be crazy because that way people don't expect as much out of you. And so I agree completely. So
Well, let me tell you this, Stephanie. Maybe your dad wants to take the credit for being Crazy Lumber 3.
I think that he would fit perfect. I think he would. I'm going to tell him, I'm going to call him Crazy Number 3 when I go back in the living room. I'm going to call him Crazy Number 3.
Hey, I like you, Stephanie.
I love you, baby. I love you all so much.
Hey, and I got to say something before we get it. I want you to write this down on your finger somewhere if you have to remember it.
Okay?
Give me a call tomorrow.
I will give you a call tomorrow. And listen now, this better not be my last time on the radio with you.
Well, I want you to call me tomorrow.
Oh, Lord. Am I in trouble?
No, you're not in trouble.
I love you so much.
You're going to wade in deeper.
What did you say? My mom was laughing at what you said. What did you say?
I don't know what I said. I said so much.
You are so funny, Brother Allen. You are precious. Hey, I want to tell you this. I want to thank you for promoting Southern gospel music. I'm telling you, Brother Allen, I love all music. I really do. But gospel is something, Southern gospel especially. It means so much to me that there is DJs out there that still promote good Southern gospel music. And for that, I just thank you and Sister Linda for the hard work that y'all do every night. Because I know it probably can be times of stress, but you show such love, and you can just see it in your eyes when you're on the station. You're having a good time, and if Christians cannot be happy and have fun, then who can? I think Christians should have a great time in the Lord.
As one of my old friends has done gone on to glory, I remember what he said a lot of times, and you might remember him. Jim Hamill of the Kingsmen Quartet.
Yes, sir. I sang with the Kingsmen.
Oh, did you?
Yes, sir. I sure did. They were precious, and I sure do remember him.
And do you remember Squire Parsons?
Yes, I never met Squire Parsons, but I wanted to so bad. And Michael Combs, I noticed that you are friends with him on Facebook. Have you ever met Michael Combs?
I've never met him eyeball to eyeball, but I've had him on this program before, and him and his wife Bo has talked to me on the phone several times. And last Friday night we had Squire Parsons on.
Oh my goodness, I love Squire Parsons.
I talked to Squire Parsons on the phone yesterday.
Wow.
I talked to his brother Virgil, and you ought to hear Virgil sing tenor.
I bet he's got a beautiful voice.
Oh, they have. And Virgil sent me 2 songs. And he's got another brother named Tom. And
Do they all sing?
all of them sing.
Wow.
But we need to pray for Squire Parsons. But what I was going to say about Tim Hamill, I've heard him say this many times. I've met him a few times too. He said, we're not supposed to go around look like we're sucking a dill pickle.
I agree.
And he also said, we don't need to go around looking like Mama Law come home with us.
Oh my God. Hey, in my concert, I say some people that look like that they're so mad at the world and so unhappy. I say this in my concert that some people look like they could give a lemon a transfusion. It's like they don't smile, they don't laugh, they don't have joy, and when people look at me, I want them to see me smiling and laughing and having a good time and just enjoying life. So I agree with him wholeheartedly.
Amen. Well, let's play another song. And Linda, what's the name of this song?
What do you think?
I don't know. Didn't something.
Didn't it rain?
Did they? Hey, yeah. Wait. Well, tell me about this song.
Now, Brother Allen, you got to do the rain dance. Do you want to do the rain dance during the song?
No, man. Last time I tried to do it in here, the camera closed up and went black.
I love you. When I first sang,
Well, guess what? I was in a church one night, and I got this on recording. We recorded it live. The Tuba 2 Quartet was singing. They sung the rain dance. They had to sing it 3 or 4 times. People wanted it. Then they got to telling everybody there that night, will Alan do it? And they made me get up there and do that rain dance, didn't they, Linda?
oh, I bet that was the sign. Now, during this song, if you feel led to get up and do a rain dance, I'd love it. Because I'm telling you, that song didn't rain. It was so fun to do. Because, you know, the Duck Brothers is who originally recorded it. Well, Randy said to me, Shelma, he said, Stephanie, now, that's a real hard song to do. And I said, well, I want to try it. And if it doesn't work out, then, then I'll just, take it off and do another song. I said, but Randy, I think I can do it. I think I can do this song. And I tell you, it is so much fun for me when I do it in concert. Everybody just gets on their feet and they just enjoy themselves so much. So everybody needs to clap their hands when they hear this song.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to listen to it.
Okay.
And excuse me, I got something I got to do right now. Linda,
Okay.
you take over and play this song for her.
Well, scoot back.
Huh?
Scoot back a little.
Okay.
Move the chair. Over that way.
I don't know what Linda's doing.
I'm not doing nothing. It's you that's doing it.
I just feel the love. It's so precious.
Okay.
I'm ready,
Well,
honey, when you are.
Okay. Here goes.
Well, didn't it rain, 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 children? Rain all the time, didn't it? Yes, didn't it? You know it didn't it all night. Oh, didn't it rain? Well, didn't it rain, 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 children? Rain all the time, didn't it? Yes, didn't it? You know it didn't it all night. Oh, didn't it rain?
What this
Still, listen to me, you know God walked down by the briny sea. He beheld the evil of the sinful man, declared that he would destroy the land. When he spoke to Noah, Noah stopped. He said, look here, Noah, build me an ark. Well, I want you to build it big and strong. Build it 300 cubits long, 30 high, 50 wide. I want it to stand by rain and tide. Rain, 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 children, rain all the time. Didn't it? Yes, it didn't it? Didn't it all night? Oh, didn't it rain? Well, after God told Noah what to do, oh, Noah began to cut and hew. For the ring of the hammer was judgment. Ring of the saw, cry, sin, and repent. For 100 years, the hammer and saw built the ark by the grace of God. Then after the foundation foundation was laid. He hewed the timber and the ark was made. Then he called the animals 2 by 2. There was an ox and a camel and a kangaroo. Then he called in Jacob, Shem, and Ham. And God began to flood the land. He raised his hands to the heavens on high, knocked the sun and the moon from the sky, shook the mountain, stirred the seas, hitched the winds to a chariot wheel, stood on land, stepped on board, declared that time would be no more. Well, I know it rained, you know it rained, how it rained, how it rained, rained all day, rained all night, there was no land anywhere inside. Rain, 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 go away, come again some other day. Rain, 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 children, rain all the time. Didn't it, didn't it, you know it, didn't it all night? Oh, didn't it rain?
Well. Where's Crazy Lumber?
He got his workout.
Where is Crazy?
This has been
Where?
one of the great nights of my life watching you. I could hear my dad busted out laughing in the living room, and Mama busted out laughing. Brother, I gotta tell you, Brother Alan, you can cut a rug.
Well, where's Crazy Lumber 3 at? He's supposed to join.
Daddy said he don't want to get on the radio. You have to understand, Daddy is so shy when it comes to getting on the radio. I cracked up when I asked him, and I said, Dad, you gonna get on the radio? No. But I gotta tell you, you made my night. You are fantastic.
Well, you made my night too. Why you think you done to me? You made me work and sweat.
I'm so sorry, Brother Alan. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just fine.
Take some deep breath, honey. I love you so much. Thank you for. Hey, you can boogie. You got some rhythm.
What you say again?
I said you've got some rhythm. You can boogie.
Man. Well, that's the first time I did that in 3 or 4 years.
Just pray you don't have a heart attack later.
Oh, God, please don't tell me that, Sister Linda. I would die. Oh, my God, please don't say that. Hey, Sister Linda, now, do you like to dance with Brother Alan?
No.
I love you so much. Y'all are so fun and so wonderful. I just thank you for letting me be on here with y'all tonight.
Well, you know this goes over on YouTube too.
Oh, honey, I'm on your YouTube channel, and I have got on your Alan Presley Promotions channel, and I'm on the YouTube channel and everything. So every time you pull up a new video, I'm watching it right on there at that moment.
Well, that's great. And well, you made her night too, girl.
I love you, Brother Alan, and I love you, Sister Linda. Sister Linda, I tell you, you're like Mama. You do all the buttons and all the knobs as well as Brother Alan, but you got a hard job. So I'm telling you, you do a fabulous job.
It gets harder behind the scenes, don't it, Linda?
Yeah.
And
She does, Sister Linda. You're wonderful.
okay, is there any song that you definitely want us to play tonight?
Do you know? Let's see. I tell you what. I don't know what you've got uploaded yet or nothing. So, honey, like I said, I'll let you pick.
Okay, Linda, pick one.
What about Take My Hand, Precious Lord?
You know, thank you, Sister Linda, because I did a duet with Randy Shellnut Jr., you know, from the Dixie Echoes. They call him Scoot. And this is a duet that we did together. So if y'all love the old gospel hymns, honey, and I know you do, and I love them too, I hope y'all like this duet by me and Randy Jr.
Hey, okay, we're going to do it. But when you get ready to call me, you call me. I don't care if you call me tonight.
Oh, baby, I will call you first thing tomorrow, because after that workout that you did, you might need to take it easy.
Okay, we're going to listen to this song. I'll get right back to you.
All right, sweetheart, go right ahead.
Okay, go ahead, Linda.
Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, help me stand. I am tired, I am weak, I am worn. Through the storm, through the neon, to the light, take my hand, precious Lord, and lead me home. When my way grows drear, precious Lord, linger near. When my life is almost gone, hear my cry, hear my call, hold my hand, lest I fall. Take my hand, precious Lord, and lead me home. Take my hand, precious Lord, and lead me home.
Just a closer walk with thee.
To walk with me,
Granted, Jesus is my plea.
to walk with me,
Daily walking close to thee. Yeah, let it be, dear Lord, let it be. I am weak, but thou art strong.
to walk with me.
Jesus, keep me from all wrong.
To walk with me,
I'll be satisfied as long as I walk.
let me walk.
Let me walk close to thee. Oh, just a closer walk with
Just a
thee.
closer walk with me.
Granted, Jesus is my
Just a
plea.
closer walk with me.
Daily walking close to thee. Yeah, let it be, dear Lord, let it be. When my feeble life is o'er,
To walk with me,
time for me will be no more.
to walk with me,
Guide me gently, safely o'er to thy kingdom shore, to thy shore. Oh, just a closer walk with thee.
to walk with me.
Oh, granted, Jesus is my plea.
Just a closer walk with me.
Daily walking close to thee. Yeah, let it be, dear Lord, let it be. Let it be, dear Lord, let it be, dear Lord, let it be, dear Lord, let it be.
Stephanie, our time is about gone, and it's been a great honor having you on tonight. And don't
I'm
you?
honored. Sister Linda probably won't never be the same again. She probably thought me and Mom were crazy.
No, we didn't either. Hey,
Well, crazy number one said, told crazy number two hello.
Oh my gosh! Hey, I want to meet that guy. Crazy? What is his name? The crazy number two? Is that you or
Dennis
him?
Coker. Hey, he's on Facebook.
Okay, I have to
Dennis-
look him up on there.
Dennis Coker is crazy number one. Alan is crazy number two.
And your dad now has become crazy number 3.
And see, Dad's name is Earl the Pearl. So we're gonna call Dad crazy number 3.
And then crazy number 1 is become Alan Presley's promotions administrator now too.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Well, we had to
you-
get both of us together,
right.
and now we're doing that, and we appreciate you, Stephanie. Appreciate Angel Mom being on. Appreciate
Okay.
Dad back there that's listening to our program, and well, now we got 3 crazy people on now.
And see, we're family, so we're all crazy. Isn't that fun? See, that way when we're crazy, people don't expect as much out of us, like my dad said. So, it's fine. We're all crazy.
That's right. And Stephanie, don't forget, you're supposed to call me tomorrow.
I promise you, Brother Allen, I will give you a call. And I love you and Sister Linda so much. Thank you for just being in our family and in our life. And God bless you in your ministry.
Okay, appreciate you. And we're going to let you go. And we're going to close out this song. And we got to get out of here, okay?
Okay. Y'all get some rest.
Okay, thank you. God bless you.
I love you. I love y'all.
I better hear my phone ringing in the morning.
I promise you. Yeah.
Okay.
And I love you.
Love you too.
Love you, Sister Linda.
Love you.
Love you. God bless you.
Bye-bye.
honey.
Okay, let's hear her sing. This will be our closing song.
When I'm alone and the light slowly fades, cold with the night closing in, and I know the shadow of almighty wings. Lord, won't you send them again? Lord, send your angels to watch over me. I'm so afraid of the dark. Lord, send your angels to watch over me. Wrap me in sheltering arms. Shield me, keep me, hold me safe in your arms. Lord, send your angels to watch over me. Wrap me in sheltering arms. Sometimes a child inside of me cries with fears of the dangers unseen, and questions with answers I can't seem to find. Then you send your angels to me. Lord, send afraid of the dark. Lord, send your angels to watch over me. Wrap me in sheltering arms. Shield me, keep me, hold me safe in your arms. Lord, send your angels to watch over me. Wrap me in sheltering arms. Wrap me in sheltering arms. Won't you wrap me in sheltering
And you have been listening to Alan Presley promotional program tonight, and what an honor it was to have Stephanie on this program. It will be on YouTube probably an hour and a half, give or take, and we just appreciate it. And you know, that song, God must have sent an angel to watch over Stephanie and her mom and her dad and their family. And what an honor to have them on the program. Folks, if that don't speak to your heart, I don't know what will. Hey, that lets us know that God honors somebody that stands up for Jesus and loves God. And we'd like to send our appreciation out to Stephanie and her family. And if you'd like to donate and help her out some, do that. And she told you how you can do it in the program. And we can help you with that too. But we are a faith broadcast, and help us out too. We the only way we can bring these type of programs is some of you are helping us, and continue to help us that we can bring more. And Lady Presley, you got anything to say right now?
Good night.
And good night, everybody, and may we all take a liking unto that great God who loved us so much that he sent Jesus to die in our place, that we can have life and have it more abundantly. Oh yeah, let me say this. Saturday night, we're going to do a special program for mothers, all the mothers across this world, across this globe. We're going to have a special program for Mother's Day this coming Saturday night. Sunday's Mother's Day. We'll catch you later. See you tomorrow night. If you hadn't shared this program, share it. You know, everybody that listens to this program, we get them to share it. Look how many people more we can reach with the gospel. We'll see you later. Good night, and God bless you.